Thank you. For more on Trump's remarks on the economy today, let's welcome in the founder and president of Strellmark, Hilary Fordwich. Hilary, great to see you.
Great to see you too, Rick.
So today, the president focused on his push to boost U.S. manufacturing and announced Ford and GM are prioritizing investments here in America. Here's a clip.
Since I took office, Ford has announced it will invest $5 billion across its Michigan and Kentucky plants, creating 4,000 new jobs. GM is moving production of the Chevy Blazer and Equinox from Mexico right back here to America. Right?
How important is this push, Hillary, to revamp manufacturing here?
Well, you ask Rick, not me, the people that are going to have all those jobs. They're going to be absolutely ecstatic to have jobs in their communities. And of course, we're going to see states also like Tennessee that are absolutely going to boom because of this reinvestment. The problem I see, though, Rick, is reshoring takes a while. You just don't build an auto plant overnight. And so I'm just hoping that this will hit our economy and will have the ripple effect throughout our economy. Don't forget, because for every plant that's built, it's not just those jobs that are created. It's the ripple effect of people with that kind of employment, the money that they spend throughout the economy in their local communities. Will this be able to take effect, and will this have an impact on the affordability issues that we're seeing right now? Will it happen before the midterms? I'm hoping that manufacturing happens really fast. It is predicted, everything I've read and researched, it is predicted to basically hit probably end of Q1, maybe into Q2. So let's just hope, Rick, it's in time, those midterms.
Well, we had a chart on the screen there, Hillary, that showed inflation. Wow. Remaining steady at 2.7% as Trump is continuing his affordability push. And there's the graphic right there. This will likely be a huge factor in the upcoming midterms. So is inflation holding a sign Trump is handling the economy well?
Well, it absolutely is. And you think about this, Rick, very importantly, think about all the uncertainty with regard to tariffs. Think about all the negativity from Democrats. Think about the government shutdown. And think about the fact that, don't forget these numbers, they're backward looking. This is one of the problems with the archaic way we still go about all these economic indicators. No one drives a car looking through the rearview mirror. Businesses, every business that I work with, they don't look backwards. They look forwards. They look forwards as to what to do. And also don't forget those numbers are actually still attained from making calls to landlines for surveys. So a lot of in fact, one thing that E.J. Antoni has actually said, he has said that this backward-looking data is archaic in terms of the way that it's actually determined. So it's not very accurate, but the good news is, yes, it'll keep things steady. Last but not least, I bet with these numbers, even Jerome Powell certainly will not raise interest rates, but we won't see another cut probably during his term until probably May.
Oh, that's some bad news. But I got another piece of good news. The national average for gasoline has dropped to $2.79 per gallon for the first time in nearly 5 years. And there are some other noteworthy price reductions, including eggs down almost 21%. Is this a sign of more good things to come, with butter and tomatoes and frozen bakery goods and rice and pasta and cornmeal dropping a few percentage points?
Well, absolutely, because they always say that as Bill Clinton was very famous for saying, it's the economy, stupid. And as Ronald Reagan asked when he was running for re-election, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Ask any American, do they prefer lower grocery prices than they did a year ago and that they did under Biden? Absolutely. That's what people prefer. People vote on pocketbook issues. So, yes, it's really important. And when you mention gas prices, yes, you're absolutely right, Rick, about the national average. But it's not that if you're in California. If you're in California, there's many places where it's over $6. And so there are many states where it isn't as low as that. And I know that the highest states, actually, I believe, are California and Hawaii. So if you're in those states, you're not having as good of a time. But I do think, yes, given this is about affordability, it's important.
Guilty. I'm in California. We pay a lot of money for gasoline here. It's a little ridiculous. But mortgage rates have now dipped below 6% for the first time in years. I was disappointed to hear they're not going to drop any further. But does that slightly lower mortgage rate also help improve livability for most Americans?
Oh, it definitely does. And Rick, what's also really important is for the first time in 5 years, there is a higher percentage, actually only by 1%, but it's 21% of those with mortgages have now under 6% only, and 20% have the 3%. What's really important about that spread of those 3 points is anybody with a 3% mortgage doesn't really want to sell. So now it's good that more people have the higher interest rate. Why? Because as they're coming down, they're more likely to sell because they know that they can move with a lower interest rate. So it's very important. It's very important in terms of supply because it's these people with golden handcuffs, the golden mortgage, they don't want to move. And that's one of the reasons we've seen the lack of supply into the market.
Yeah, I can relate to all that too, Hilary Fordwich. I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you for dropping some knowledge on us all.
Absolutely, Rick. Anytime. Thank you. Pleasure.